City Council meeting. If I can ask you all to please rise for the invocation. Tonight's invocation will be given by Pastor Matt McCollum with Trinity Presbyterian Church, and if I can ask you to please remain standing for the national anthem. It's not a basketball game, is it? Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Almighty God, you are the source of all freedom. We give thanks for those who long ago declared that life and liberty are your gift to every person. Help us to continue that work that was started long ago. Be with our country in this time of difficulty and uncertainty. Especially we lift up areas of our nation who are recovering from weather that has caused massive power outages and water shortages and even loss of life. We pause also today to remember the 500,000 people who've lost lives in this pandemic. We know they're not just numbers. These are people, spouses, parents, grandparents, siblings. And so we ask your peace on those families who've lost loved ones. And now bless our leaders here locally. Guide our mayor and city council with your wisdom and your discernment. In your name we pray. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Reverend McCall. Appreciate you. Okay, first order of business tonight will be to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting, the work session, and the agenda meetings held on February the 8th. Council, do you have any additions, deletions, or changes to those minutes?
Make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as submitted. Any discussion?
Yes.
Okay. No.
I have a discussion.
I don't believe this is public to make changes or deletions to the minutes, sir.
I don't want to make changes to the minutes. I want to question the minutes.
Can we need to do that, wait for public participation, clerk? Can we wait? We'll wait for public participation. We'll give you an opportunity. You can amend the minutes at any time. Even if we approve them, they can always be amended from any time in the future, okay? Any discussion, council? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes as submitted, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, minutes are approved. Thank you, council. Mayor Sullivan, your report, please.
Thank you, Councilman. Tonight, we're going to be giving away a few awards, beautification awards. As most of you know, we held our Arbor Day celebration this weekend. We gave away close to 1,000 seedlings in, 46 minutes?
Yes.
Councilman Conyers?
45 anyway.
45 minutes, and had about 250 cars through, so people really wanted to replenish those trees as, after everything that was lost during Hurricane Sally. So, but part of that celebration is always to give away beautification awards to people who have done enhancements to their buildings or added new buildings that add to the streetscape and the landscape here in Fairhope. So we're happy to do that again this year. It's a little bit different because we're doing it at a council meeting instead of doing it at our normal celebration. But at this time, I'd like to call up Skip Jones. Skip. And because you're so close to her, put this back on, you're good?
Well, don't worry, Skip. She already breathed on the plaque.
That's right. Sorry, I know. Sorry.
Got you shot.
So this beautification award is presented for Noel Park Flats at 72 Fairhope Avenue for exceptional consideration in site planning and for outstanding architectural and landscape design. So it's presented to Skip Jones of Harvey E. Jones Design and Construction. And we're going to take a picture outside just after I get everybody, if you can hang around. Thank you. Mr. Bob Baumhauer, if I could call you up. So the second award we have is for Wing Fingers, which is at 25 South Greeno Road, and that's for complimentary renovation of existing commercial facade and preservation and improvement of buffer landscape, and probably one of the greatest breakfasts that I've had in the past several weeks here in Fairhope. Can I add that to the plaque?
If you don't, Mayor, I'll shamelessly promote a Fairhope business. I had breakfast there Saturday morning. It was fantastic. And I think it's all due to the blade sign that they insisted on having on the corner of the building. Their architect, I tell you, that was a lot of fun.
I love that they offer the French toast Fairhope style. So it's great. Thank you. And now if I can call up Pastor Chris Bell. from Three Circle Church. They are receiving a beautification award, and that is for Three Circle Church Expansion, 10274 State Highway 104, for exceptional use of overstory trees, landscape, hardscape, and overall site planning for a large community use development. One thing, while Chris is here about Three Circle Church, we will do those vaccinations again in conjunction with the health department and with infirmary, Thomas Hospital Infirmary Health, and with Three Circle this Saturday. It is for people who got their first shot there, so this will be only for second shots. But we really appreciate Three Circle opening up their campus and allowing us to do that there. Thank you so much. So the last thing we have one more beautification award, but I don't think they're here, to Joan Moore. Ms. Moore here, and that is for 152 North Section Street, and that is for exceptional architecture, planning, and historical preservation by blending new construction that is complementary to the historic downtown streetscape. Thank you. We'll make sure she gets that.
All right, thank you.
And the last thing I have is a recognition for Miss Verna Johnson. And Councilman Martin and I have been working on this. Miss Johnson is not here tonight. She obviously she's passed, but she has been an exemplary citizen of Fairhope and has contributed tirelessly to the Rotary Youth Club here in Fairhope. Her and her husband, Charles Johnson, have just been great. Community members, have engaged in the community and always are so giving with their time and resources. And so we just wanted to do something to honor Verna and her contributions to Fairhope and to Rotary Youth Club. So Charles, I'm sure Mr. Johnson's listening and watching, and her family is, so thank you for the contributions that she's made. We certainly miss her here in Fairhope and appreciate all her time and effort here. And I think Councilman Martin had something he would like to add.
Yeah, so in memorializing Ms. Varner for Mr. Charles, the Interact Club from the Rotary, with Chad Clark is over that organization, is going to build a bench with her name and memorializing her and put it at the Rotary to go along with the architect of the new playground that we're getting at the Rotary Youth Club. So we want to give them a hand for doing that. And that should be done sometime in March. I don't want to give a specific date, either March 13th or the 23rd. So just wanted to put that out there.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Councilman Martin, for working on that. We appreciate it. And again, appreciate the Johnsons and everything they've done for Fairhope and for the Rotary Youth Club. Thank you so much.
Chief Hollinghead, I'd like for the mayor to come back in for your presentation, so you can just maybe slowly make your way up. And Mayor, we'll wait for you to get back in after you take the photos, because we have some important presentations to make by the police department. Chief, while we're waiting for the mayor to come back, you want to come up front and maybe introduce any new police officers that we may not have met before?
That's just about it. It's a big group of them.
Oh, we got time.
That's fine.
Kevin would like for them to know who he is.
Absolutely.
There you go.
They scared. To the, how you doing?
How are you doing tonight?
We have several new officers that are here tonight. Yeah.
Good evening. Is that
Good evening.
working? Hello. Okay. Officer Holmes, been here about 2.5 years now. Ain't too much else to say, I reckon.
All right, thank you, Officer Holmes.
I'm Officer Morgan. I've been here about the same amount of time as Officer Holmes. Grew up here, left for the Army, and then come back and started policing here. So, been here about 2.5, well, right at 2 years in March. So,
How was that DMZ?
it was
Interesting?
yeah.
I
Yes,
heard
sir.
you did well over there.
Yep, I appreciate
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
I'm Officer Ham, come from Prattville. I've been here a little over a year.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
I'm Charles Spiegel, been here about 2.5 years as well.
All right, thanks for your service. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chief, Mayor's back. That was quick. As quick as she ever took a picture.
We wanted to start doing something a little different. Last year, we developed an awards program for our police officers, and we did not bring it to the council meeting, but I feel like that it's a very important part of what we do, is that we need to, announce what our officers do, recognize them for the good things that they do in the community. So first of all, I just want to thank the council and the mayor for allowing us to be here and use this time to publicly recognize members of our department. Tonight, we'll be honoring 2 officers for their exceptional service. And this is an excellent opportunity to recognize some of the fantastic work, fantastic work that our officers do. We live in a great city where great things happen all the time, and we don't always have the opportunity to hear those great things in the news, but they happen. They happen all the time. And it is an honor to be here and share this with you and with the public and our community. So what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm going to read a brief citation of what brought us here today and why we're going to honor, or why we are honoring each one of our officers. I will ask them to step forward, and then we'll present them with a certificate. All right, the first officer that I'd like to honor is Sergeant Benjamin Taylor. Sergeant Taylor is being honored for his heroic actions which occurred during Hurricane Sally. On September 16, 2020, at the moment Hurricane Sally made landfall, Sergeant Taylor responded to a citizen who was in desperate need of medical attention. With winds at or near 105 miles per hour, Sergeant Taylor disregarded his own personal safety and responded to a citizen's calls for help. After maneuvering through numerous obstacles, downed trees, power lines, and flooding waters, Sergeant Taylor arrived at the citizen's residence. Once on scene, Sergeant Taylor carried the citizen from his home to his patrol car and transported him to the hospital where he received the medical care that he needed. For this selfless act in face of grave danger, Sergeant Taylor is being awarded the Medal of Bravery.
God bless you, man. God bless you.
I thought I was working the door out here.
Is that what they told you to get you here, Benji?
All right, the second officer that I'd like to honor is Corporal Ward Faust. Corporal Faust responded to a medical assist call, which wound up being a cardiac arrest, on the night of December 14th, 2020. When he arrived, he found the resident not breathing, no pulse, and unresponsive. Corporal Faust immediately coordinated a response that included gathering vital information and then began performing CPR. Corporal Faust administered CPR for several minutes before the subject's breathing resumed. It is due to Corporal Faust's quick response and life-saving efforts that this man is alive today. Corporal Faust was nominated and chosen among his peers as Officer of the Quarter for the 4th quarter of 2020. And lastly, I would just like to end on this, and this is directed to both of our honored officers. You have both shown continued dedication to duty and personal commitment to the service of the city and the community. The department and the families are grateful for your selfless acts, and we all thank you. Again, thank y'all very much for letting us do this here tonight.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chief.
God bless y'all.
Okay, next item on tonight's agenda is public participation. This is pertaining to agenda items. So if you would like to address the council on items 6 through 47, you could come forward, state your name and address for the record. And sir, just so you don't have to sit around and wait till the end, do you want to come up and give us your grievance with the minutes? And technically, that is item 1 on the agenda, so I think that it's appropriate. Yes, sir.
My name is Dick Schneider. Dick Schneider. I live at 113 Orange Avenue, Fairhope, Alabama. In looking over the minutes, I don't think they're adequate. I think they cover the items that are approved, which are the actions taken and approved by you gentlemen. And I think that's very appropriate. However, there are some things that should be included. And I think those are comments by the public. I spend my time to come down here and sit through the meeting to watch all of the things that go through, and I don't think there's adequate notations to them about why they're being done on the thing. And all of that is covered in all of the council sub-meetings according to last week. None of that is reported. The other thing, and I've been in for 3 meetings, and twice we have brought up the fact that there isn't any ducks down at the pond, but we don't cover it. So, as a citizen, I come down and spend my time and bring it up, but I have no idea what's been done with it. It needs to have a notation at some place in the minutes that says, these are the public comments regarding the council meeting. I think I was very polite in my address last week, and I think I'm being polite tonight. I'm only questioning the fact that if you're going to call them minutes, that's this report. If you're going to talk about what happened at the meeting, then I think you need to include some paragraphs about what people said. Thank you. Thank you for your understanding.
Mr. Snyder, just so you know, I'm looking at the minutes, and it clearly mentions you, your name, your address, and what you addressed the council on. And it also mentions your wife, her name in full, her address, and also what she mentioned, the consideration of bringing a flock of ducks to the duck pond area. So it did, I believe, in pretty great detail, cover your participation.
He's looking at the agenda.
Where is it?
It's okay.
I'm looking at the agenda that they gave me tonight.
Yeah, and that's what I had explained last week, Mr. Schneider, is that, you know, you're seeing just an agenda, which is just an overview of the items. And we have, you know, literally probably 400 pages. And so those minutes are multiple pages. And you and your wife are both included in those minutes as to what you addressed the council on.
Does anybody have a copy of them?
Clerk, could you get him a copy of those minutes?
Yes, I will.
You have mine.
Pardon me?
Yeah, you can have it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
Not a problem.
You don't want to, Kevin?
And you'll see yours today, Mr. Snyder, at the very last, right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how do I get this on a regular basis?
It's on, we'll have to show you.
That, you got to see the clerk about it. Online.
We could get you a digital copy. We obviously not going to make paper copies for everybody in the city to be cost
No, I
prohibitive.
want you to make paper copies. If you tell me where I can get it.
It should be online. Should be on the City of
It is
Fairhope
online.
website as well, under the council meetings.
What day does it come out?
When would those be posted for the previous meeting?
This time they were done on Friday, last Friday.
So anywhere between,
Yeah,
When is
Normally
it?
Wednesday and
Thursday or Friday.
Thursday or
before the
Friday preceding the next meeting. So tonight's would be posted 2 weeks from this past Thursday or Friday.
2 weeks from now.
Roughly 2
So-
weeks.
yeah,
Okay. And it'll be Thursday or Friday?
Typically, yes, sir.
when they come out.
And the city Facebook would have them?
I don't know if it's on Facebook, it's on the
If you're talking
website.
about
Can
the
I do
minutes,
something?
once they're signed, I scan them
Show
and
me.
send them
Can I
to
get-
IT
can
to
I-
put on them, so they're usually done within a week.
Okay.
If you'll take my card.
Yes.
If you'll call me,
Thank
then
you.
if you can come to my office.
Yes, we'll show you exactly how to do it.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
that's it. That's it.
Ms. Murray, you're wonderful. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry that I didn't understand how all this worked.
No
Yes, sir.
worries.
No
That's what we're
problem.
going to show you.
Neither did we.
Yeah,
Live and learn.
yeah. Mr. Snyder, get your mask.
Right here.
Oh, excuse me.
Thank you, sorry about that.
All right.
I'm Bryant Whalen, 592 Bon Secours Street in Fairhope. I'm the Executive Director of Eastern Shore Art Center, and I'm here just to first say thank you to the mayor and councilman for your continued support of the Art Center, and to say that I hope that you will pass number 16 on the agenda for continued appropriations to support the Art Center. And then also, number 41, about the street closings and the change of date for the Fairhope Arts and Crafts Festival. As you know, the Eastern Shore Art Center also has our outdoor art show at the same time. We have 90 booths, artists that have signed up. We are going to probably have some people who have dropped off because of the date change, but it's a very important event, and we really we do everything we can for the health and safety of all of the people who visit the Art Center, and we will also have all of those measures in place during the show, and we just urge you to pass changing that date and providing the street closures. Thank
Is
you.
that covered in the resolution as well? 41, it's all lumped into one? Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you. Is there anyone else?
I just want to get, I think I left my agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, I'm Ann Brooks, 105 North Chase Court in Fairhope. I am one of the administrator schedulers for Baldwin Pops Band, former executive director, and we would just like to say our gratitude for putting us on the agenda for funding for this next year, and we hope to God we will be on the bluff on 4th of July. We are trying. If we can find a place to rehearse social distanced, we can do that. If not, 4th of July, we're looking at the October Founder's Day concert. COVID restrictions have to be lifted for us to be able to rehearse in a band room, because we're almost between 60 and 80 members. So we're doing our best to get back. So we appreciate your support.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I will close public participation and remind everyone that there will be another opportunity to address the council for non-agenda items at the conclusion of tonight's meeting. And we will move into what might be a little more somber note tonight, and we'll move into council comments. We'll start with Councilman Brown.
Thank you, Council President. Mayor Sullivan, councilmen, city employees, and citizens of Fairhope. I believe there's a purpose in time and that things happen for a reason. We might not understand at the moment why, but if we put our trust in God, He will reveal it to us when it's time. There's a reason I've been given the honor to serve the city of Fairhope for the last 4 years. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Might change a few things. I've had an opportunity present itself that is truly a one-time opportunity, and felt me and my family had to take it. I've struggled with this decision because it forces me to do something I don't want to do. I'll be moving outside the city of Fairhope corporate limits, and therefore, effective immediately following this meeting, I resign from my position as City of Fairhope Council Place 4. My replacement will be appointed by the remaining 4 council members at the March 8th meeting. When things were in place for my move, I reached out to a familiar friend of mine to see if he was interested in replacing me as a councilman. I hope the council will seriously consider Jay Robinson for my replacement. I know if there was an election held tomorrow, Jay would win in a landslide. Again, I truly appreciate the opportunity to serve my hometown. I appreciate everyone who supported me in both elections and throughout my term. While I might not be a councilman anymore, I will look for ways to continue to serve the community of Fairhope as a whole, and may God continue to bless the great city I'll always call home. Thanks.
As I said, a little bit of a somber moment. Councilman Boone, start with you.
Yeah, actually, I was informed of this a little while back, and I didn't like it even a little bit, but there's been a lot of things in this life I didn't like, we got through. And I'd just like to say it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with Councilman Brown. And I regard him as a close friend, and I'm sure his decision was not taken lightly, and it's for the best for him and his family, and I applaud it. But he will be sorely missed.
Thank you. Councilman Conyers.
I just excited for Councilman Brown and an opportunity for your family. Big loss for the city of Fairhope. I think can't say enough good things about Robert Brown. Integrity, character, service. You can count on Robert to do what is right, not what is popular. And had not ever even met him before I ran for city council. And I would say my wife and sister-in-law have known him for years and always loved him and spoke highly of him. And I would say one of the best things about serving this capacity, aside from serving the city, has been developing the friendships with the people up here. And Robert has become a great friend, and just think the world of him. And I feel like you left Fairhope a better place than you found it. And I'm sure we haven't seen the last of your service.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Councilman Martin.
Well, you know, this is a catch-22 because I hate to see my brother leave, but I'm also ecstatic about the opportunity that his family is about to receive. You know, before I became a city councilman, I called on Robert to help me, and there was no hesitation. He didn't know me from Adam or Eve. I run into people around the town, and they ask about Bobby, and I say, you know, tell me a little bit. And all I get historically is the things that Jimmy just spoke about as far as his character is concerned. And my short time knowing him has been a pleasure. I've been blessed by him with his wisdom and kindness and his high character. And I really, really, really hate that he's leaving. And I want to let him know that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Corey.
Yes, sir.
You know, Robert came to me some time ago and asked me what the consequences were of moving outside of the city limits. And unfortunately, I told him the consequences were that he couldn't serve on this council. And I know that he thought about it long and hard, and this went on for many months. So this was many months ago, and I kind of thought that opportunity had gone away, and but apparently it had not. And so several weeks ago, Robert shared the news that there was, in all likelihood, he was going to move to an old family homestead that he had an opportunity to gain possession of or purchase. So I'm not going to lie selfishly, Robert. I'm very saddened by this. I've known you for 21, 22 years. You know, you're probably one of the first persons I met when I moved to Fairhope 22 years ago. And we've had a good friendship. Not only have we served the city together, but we've served in other ways, and we've gone to church together, Sunday school. And you've been an ally most of the time up here. When we disagreed, you disagreed with me, and I respect you for that. You always made the decision that you thought was best in your heart. And like someone said, no matter how difficult, you're a straight shooter. You're the only veteran on the council right now. So thank you for your service to our country as well. And I know, as others have said, you're not going to quit continuing to serve because, you know, you have a servant's heart. So thank you for that. And I appreciate your service. I think that we'll be less of a council without you. I appreciate you telling us your opinion of former Councilman Robinson I do know, and I will say this, that when Councilman Brown reached out to the council members, that I believe every council member, if I'm not mistaken, at least mentioned Councilman Robinson's name. But it will be up to this body, the remaining 4 members, to choose. We have some time to do that, but they say try to do it at the next available meeting, which would be in 2 weeks. So, council members, you have a job before you, and that is to give your input. I think would be best to give it through the city clerk as to what your opinions are. If we're all of the same mind, we can make an appointment soon. If we're not, we're going to have some debate about it. So I hope that it goes smooth. As Councilman Brown said, tonight will be his last meeting. I have to make an announcement at the conclusion of tonight's meeting of the vacancy. It's not vacant right now. He still has all the authority vested in him by the state of Alabama through the conclusion of this meeting. So the process will be at the conclusion of tonight's meeting, I will announce the vacancy of place 4. From then, we will, you can give your thoughts to the city clerk as to whether you would like to make other nominations for other candidates for the position, for the open position, or not. And we will take those candidates and we can discuss them. If necessary, we will call a meeting to discuss them, much like we have done when we have hired a police chief or another appointed. We had interviews with the treasurer. We interviewed for city attorney, and so on and so forth. So that'll be the process going forward. I tell you, Robert, I just caught me by surprise, but I do wish you well. As sad as it, I wish you all the best and your family all the best. And thank you for your service to this.
Thanks, Jay. Thank you.
Well, if that's not enough, we'll get back to the agenda. Item 6, final adoption of an ordinance amending zoning ordinance number 1253. This is Article 5, adding the HTD, Highway Transitional District, Article 3, Section B, Table 3.1, using the table and adding a column for HTD permitted uses in Article 3, Section B, Table 3-2, Dimension Table, adding the row for the HTD, which was introduced at the February the 8th, 2021 City Council meeting. Also, we opened a public hearing at that time. Hunter, you still out there in cyberspace?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
You'll lead us through this?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna share a screen here, and let's hope this works. I got to be honest. This is a tough one to follow up on. Was not expecting that news, and Robert, you will be sorely missed. I would appreciate all the engagement you've had with our department, and the questions you've had have certainly had an impact. So we'll miss your engagement. Let's see.
Still be around, Hunter.
All our long debates about zoning is, but I do have to say, one of the first times I met Councilman Brown, I got a call one day about a project we were working on, a proposed amendment, and Robert said, "Hey, you got a minute? I'm coming by to pick you up." And it's that kind of engagement that is incredibly important to a city. So I really appreciate everything you have done. With that said, I'll jump into zoning amendment CZ 21.02. This is the Highway Transitional District. Joe, can you confirm we have visual or anyone?
We have visual.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so the use table we've looked at last month, and I will kind of move through this quickly and back up if we have questions. The use table would be amended to add a new district to the city, an option. for people. No one, if adopted, would be zoned highway transitional district. This would be an optional. The black circles on this chart on the far right in red are the uses given by right. White circles would be conditional that would have to go to our Board of Adjustments for review and approval. The dimension table only references the newly proposed section, Article 5, Section 1, which I'll jump into here. And not to read too much, but the first three intentions are important. So this district is provided as an alternative to single-family residential zoning districts along state highways within the city of Fairhope that are beyond the area of influence of village nodes and commercial nodes as contemplated by the City of Fairhope Comprehensive Plan. And the last bullet point there is, unlike any other districts within the section, this is not an overlay district. So again, this does not affect any property owners other than those who voluntarily apply for rezoning this district. Just a quick background of how we kind of got to this point. This has been debated for years on what to do, specifically on Greeno Road, historic residential areas that don't have that residential viability today. And we had an applicant come to the Planning Commission, I believe in November, and it was yet again the same scenario. And what do we do with these applications? So when the request is for B2, but it's been the desire historically for Greeno Road to not develop as a traditional commercial corridor. So these are the proposals, and we've grouped other sections of the zoning ordinance, not really created anything new, into this potential district. Has a lot size of between 20,000 square feet and under 3 acres. The uses that are in the table, it is along the state highways within the corporate limits of Fairhope, so this does not apply within the ETJs. This would only be an option within the corporate limits. The setbacks are similar to B4, building height and mixed use criteria is B4. And let's go to the last one. There is along Greeno Road currently and other state highways a 20-foot tree preservation zone and green space requirement within the first 20 feet of property. That is in addition to the that is also can lie inside the front setback. So that is not a 20-foot for a front setback and then an additional 20 feet. That is 20 feet just to preserve the tree and landscape of those frontages. And then the last note here is any future rezoning to highway transition district may be conditioned so that the goals and the intent of the comprehensive plan are achieved. This did go through Planning Commission, and they unanimously voted to recommend approval for the highway transitional district. And that's the end of my presentation. I'll answer any questions if the council has them.
Can I get, Joe, can you go back to the table of permitted uses, please?
I can start at I think I have control, so I'll navigate as directed.
I'm kind of looking through that list once again. Scroll down some more, Hunter.
Yes, sir.
All right, stay right there if you don't mind. Okay, I got my question answered.
Okay.
Hunter, Jimmy here. I have a question that was brought up to me by a citizen earlier today, and I just couldn't remember the answer. How do we address lighting on these sites? Is that something that would come up as they bring a site plan forward, or would it be, what are their scope? People who are in the vicinity but are in residential areas just don't want a lot of commercial lighting shining through their yard, through their window, that kind of thing.
Yes, sir. We do have other provisions that protect that, where the measurement we use is light candles, and whether that penetrates to the property boundary. It varies depending on what is abutted next to a proposed, but that could go for B4, B2. We don't separate that in this section itself. It's going to be handled in other areas of our zoning code. So we do address those issues, though.
Thank you.
And we certainly review that at any site plan or MOP or any other PUD or any other project we might look at.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, council?
Yeah, just the one last, just for the public.
Yes, sir.
Hunter, if I was a citizen and I wanted to find this particular graph, can you educate me on that? How to get to this particular graph?
Yeah, this is one of the most commonly referenced areas of our zoning code. So our zoning code is available on our website under the planning department, publications and forms. And our zoning code is quite a large document, but within the first real chapter of uses, this is available. You kind of need to cross-reference to our zoning map, which is online, that'll show what each individual property is zoned. And then use the top of this table will show the columns and what zoning it is, and then the rows show the uses that are available for each of those zoning types.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Council, any other questions? One last, Hunter, can you move it back up to the top of that use table now?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll tell you what I'm looking for, and I think it may fall under general or professional, and that would be a bank. Would a bank be able to use that?
Yes, sir.
Does that fall under professional office?
Well, I thought it had to be.
Let's see.
I don't think so.
General professional services potentially. And I hate to, our code is so long, even we have to kind of cross-check and reference how it was written. Unfortunately, these are not standards all over the country. Everything is unique. So specifically for a bank, if you would like, I could find that answer for you.
And really, the reason I was asking the question, Hunter, was banks typically have drive-throughs. I can imagine some of these locations where they'll be going, and there could be future ordinances, this zoning ordinance that could prohibit drive-throughs, and so I wondered if banks were included. But I see the other. I'll just say it. People are concerned about it becoming fast foods out on 98, and one way you can prevent it is prevent drive-throughs. If they can't have drive-throughs, they're not going to build there. And if you allow banks that have drive-throughs, I don't know if you can come back later and prohibit them. Some people would say we shouldn't prohibit them at all, but most people would say we should. Anyway, that was my thought process, Hunter, as to why I was asking that question.
Okay. And then restaurants are prohibited within this.
Yeah. That's the one thing. Restaurants and bars are prohibited. That was the first thing I was looking for, and I found that answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But once again, it's not being forced upon anyone. People have to request it.
That's correct. That's correct. I think the city has been put in positions to deny something because there's not an option. So hopefully this would provide an option within some of those areas that would be palatable.
Right. All right. Any other questions, council? Okay. Thank you, Hunter. I guess you'll be on the line for the next one as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I have a motion for final adoption?
So moved. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Clerk, will you call the question, please?
Council President?
Aye.
Place 2?
Aye.
Place 3?
Aye.
Place 4?
Aye.
Place 5?
Aye.
Okay. The motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 7 is final adoption of an ordinance to amend zoning ordinance number 1253 at the request to rezone the property of Seaman Capital LLC and Dominion Partners from an R1 low-density, single-family residential district to a planned unit development. The property is generally located at the southwest of the intersection of Greeno Road and Volanta Avenue in Fairhope. The property is to be known as the Reserve at Fairhope PUD. This was introduced at the February the 8th, 2021 City Council meeting. Hunter?
Thank you. I'll get this started. So this is CZ 20.09. It is a rezoning from R1 to PUD. The location is at the corner of Volanta and Greeno Road. It's currently 2 parcels consisting of approximately 16 acres. There's currently a single-family home on the southernmost portion lot, and the other lot is currently unoccupied. The project is a assisted living, independent living, and memory care development. A continuing care development is, as the applicants have stated. It consists of a total of 168 total units. To make it easier, because I know we had some problems at scale last month, splitting this into portions is what I'm going to try to do here. The southern half of the project consists of 20 independent living units as patio homes. The majority of the green space is contained within this side. At least 26% green space is provided. 20 is required, and probably when you look at some of the buffers, that would actually be greater than 20%. This is a PUD, so we're not getting into all of the technical review. The proposed stormwater management areas are shown on the plan, but will be further reviewed during the MOP, which is a multi-occupancy project pursuant to our subdivision regulations. The other amenities are shown on this plan. One other item to note before I flip the next slide: Hoyle Avenue to the south is currently an unimproved city right-of-way, and applicants will work with the Fairhope Public Works to improve Hoyle Avenue as a secondary entrance into the site. Moving to the north, the remainder of the proposed units are contained within a proposed 3-story, rather large building, 225,000 square feet. This is where 32 assisted living, 32 memory care units, and 84 independent care units will reside in, with a library, cafe, dining hall, 3 dining halls, and administrative offices. There's also green space courtyards, walkways, and sidewalks connecting throughout the site, as well as to our existing pedestrian network. Real quick floor plan of the main building is shown. This is where the assisted living, memory care, and second and third floor will include independent living. Elevations are shown. This is a PUD, so there is some possibilities for tweaking the language. The proposed building height is a 34-foot max eave height. This equates approximately to a 45-foot building height. Council President, I got some slides at the end to kind of show where the distance from the road, because that was a question last council meeting. But just FYI, the building is 180 feet from the property line on Greeno and 80 foot from Volanta Avenue. As staff, we really like the location of this project, and it's close to our other social infrastructure of Volanta Park and all of the sports that happens there, the recreation facilities. So that adjacent to this project was really exciting, and talking with the applicant, we wish there was a safer connection across Volanta, and they have agreed to install at their cost a signalized crosswalk at the existing sidewalk west of the subject property. They will work with the Public Works to make sure that happens. They have to use the right-of-ways because this is not contiguous to their property. Quickly, this is the type of project we look at when we look at lighting. So, Councilman Conyers, this is a reference to your question on the last case. This is a lighting plan that shows those split candles, and it how they are not penetrating to the neighboring properties to the south and to the east. Landscape plans were provided, and the specifics will be looked at during MOP review. The proposed storm, where it meets the stormwater management areas. We do recommend this is reviewed by the Fairhope Tree Commission before, but we will help coordinate that. This is a blow up of the area adjacent to Volanta Road. So, Council President, you asked the question, what happens if we expand our right-of-ways? And is there enough room? So, between the building and the property line. As you can see by this, to the left of this image is the pavement for Volanta Road, and it's rather close to the property line. There is room to move, and sidewalks are currently shown within that right-of-way, but as you can see, there is 80 feet between that line and the property line.
Well, now that's, Hunter, I believe that's 80 feet to the building, and we don't want to build a road right up next to the building, so is there sufficient space between the road and then the paved area which encircles the building itself there? There's an intermediate road, which is their private road, between Volanta and the building. So is there, it looks to be, maybe 25, 30 feet between Volanta and the paved road, so probably more than enough to add a lane there.
Yes,
I see the
you've
engineer
got
shaking his head now.
approximately 10 feet, 12 feet between the edge of pavement and the property line, and then there's an additional 30 before you get to the asphalt as they're shown internally.
Okay.
And just for reference, along Greeno is also this image also shows the pavement, edge of pavement, the trees within the right of way, and then depending on where you take the measurement from the property line to the building is 135 foot to 164 foot in this image.
What's that landscape buffer there, Hunter?
The landscape buffer is a requirement along Greeno Road and other certain important streets within the corporate limits of Fairhope that requires a tree preservation area and landscape. It was referenced in the highway transitional district we just looked at. So that 20 feet means it's kind of an undisturbed or plant if it has been left as lawn. There's some requirements, overstory trees every 30 feet, some specific requirements within that area.
Well, I mean, Hunter, correct me. Hunter, can we not, it's a PUD. They want something, we get something. Can we not specify what we want the landscape buffer to be precisely?
It is precise within the tree ordinance. It is very specific on what that requirement is. And that's what we would proposed was that is reviewed by the tree commission, and they can absolutely make any tweaks or requirements to that.
And so can the council. Let me be clear about that. So
Yes,
I'm not getting the answer I'm looking for, Hunter. How wide is that landscape buffer in this PUD? From that road to, it almost looks like a double dash line there. It looks to be pretty wide. I'm just want to confirm that. Can you tell me, Trey?
Good evening, Councilman. Trey Jenwright, project engineer for this. Are you referring to the northeast corner there?
Just anywhere between Greeno Road and, say, call it the proposed stormwater management area. My point of asking the question is, we have a parking lot on the east side of the structure there, which is not desired, but if the landscape buffer is as wide as I think it is, you shouldn't be able to see it, probably hardly at all.
The parking lot is probably, looking at this scale, it's probably 40 feet off that road, 40 feet off the right-of-way line. So you've got a 20-foot landscape buffer there. There's also a reference for a 30-foot building setback line. And so you can see that the parking is well past that as well. So it's probably 40 feet off that property line is where the...
So I may be seeing the right-of-way, which is 45 foot wide then. That's where the kind of trees are shown, sketched in there?
Yeah, so the trees are in the existing right-of-way.
Okay.
So if you're going off the pavement to the parking area, I mean, you're probably 75, 80 feet back in there. It's a pretty good ways. The existing live oaks that are going down the southbound lane of Greeno Road are remaining, and we are protecting those. And so what you'll have is another 30 to 40 feet to the west of that of landscaped buffer that Hunter's referring to, then the infrastructure of this parking lot. So there's a considerable area there that will shelter this.
Well, you've got that stormwater management area, which I'm assuming, is that going to be?
Landscape.
Is that going to be retention or detention?
Are you familiar with my office space?
Yes.
This looks very similar to that. So it's a landscaped feature that blends in as a amenity and not a hardscape.
But there's going to be, but there's not trees in it, are there? I mean,
There potentially will be.
potentially
Yes, sir.
some
To break that up.
cypress or something in there, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So those will be more of a bioretention facility that we use landscaping to help facilitate stormwater quality control.
That's a
So
good answer. Okay. I like that, bioretention.
that's what it'll be.
And I like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Questions? While I have the engineer.
That was him.
I just want to say while I was up here, Robert, thank you for your service. You're a friend, but also a heck of a city servant, so thank you. I was kind of shocked when I heard that earlier, so thank you.
Okay. All right. Hunter, anything else, Hunter?
Yes. Yes, sir. Just wanted to give our recommendation. The staff does recommend to approve CZ 20.09 with the following conditions. The tree removal and landscape plans reviewed by the City of Fairhope Tree Commission prior to during MOP process. The proposed signalized crossing shall be coordinated with the City of Fairhope Public Works Department. Final drainage plans as well as connectivity to sewer and electrical will be resolved prior to or during the MOP review, and a traffic study and building elevations will be provided for review as part of the MOP application. The Planning Commission did unanimously vote to recommend approval for CZ 20.09. Thank you, Council President.
Yes, sir. Questions for Hunter? Or the engineer? Okay. I don't hear any questions. Somebody like to make a motion for final adoption?
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second for final adoption. Is there any more discussion? Okay. I do have one last question. Councilman Brown, you used to live in this area, the back directly up to this. Do you know of any objections to this from the residents?
I haven't got any phone calls.
And we didn't have any objection in the public hearing at all. I haven't had a phone call, and I know about everybody on that street. Okay, I didn't know if anybody had called you.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Clerk, will you call the question, please?
Council President?
Aye.
Place 2?
Aye.
Place 3?
Aye.
Place 4?
Aye.
Place 5?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Council. Item number 8, final adoption of an ordinance amending ordinance number 1312, section 16, to repeal and replace ordinance number 1468, known as the towing and recovery rotation ordinance. This is section 22-56 in the City of Fairhope's Code of Ordinances. Chief Hollinghead, please. And I believe we have, do we have someone from, we have someone here? if you
Daniel
want-
is here, if y'all have got
Yeah,
some
if you want to
questions
come
for
up as
him.
well.
My name is Daniel Wade. I'm here on behalf of Tony's Towing, and we're basically just suggesting a rate increase to the ordinance, and I'm here to try to answer any questions I can.
Okay. Mr. Wade, I guess one of the questions that came up at the last meeting was, I know it's been a while since we've gone up on these rates, and we understand the requesting, but I believe some of these rates go up, by as much as 40%, and we just want to hear your side, your take on that.
I tried to get them in line with some of our other agencies, because they're way off from city to city, and so I'm just trying to get them kind of closer to those, and I mean, we can reevaluate, you can make suggestions, or how, I mean, it's your call on all the rates. I can just suggest is all I can do.
Well, I don't mean to sound crass here, but, it could be that everybody's overpaying, and now we're asked to be brought to that level. I mean, that's a valid question, I think. I think we want to hear that we're not, the citizens aren't going to be overpaying. The
Right.
people that are getting towed are paying.
Oh, I understand.
And we don't want to gouge them, although they probably were illegally parked, but, I think that was the biggest point of concern was hearing, and I knew you would say that you're bringing it to the level of other communities, but we want to know that that's,
I mean, I can give you.
the levels at other communities are fair and reasonable rates as well, I guess.
Right, and I can just tell you from our company perspective, we don't get complaints for rates, with basically any agency we tow for, so I don't know if that has any weight in the.
That gives us, it's a barometer, yeah. I think that's helpful.
And also, this is a suggestion in talking to some people, and the fact that it's been such a long time, that a rate increase has been proposed. If you'd done it 4 years ago, you'd have less percentage and this type of thing. So now, it's been so long, it is 40%, but.
Yeah, but I think.
We're also 40% or 50% lower than everybody else for 12 years.
True, I don't think the rate of inflation has been 40% over the last 8 years, though.
Well, again, that's what everybody else is charging, though.
Right. Any other comments?
Yeah, I just, I talked to Daniel myself, and Daniel was willing to negotiate that 40% at some point, as far as, on some of these items. I think, I have nothing against, my job is to look out for the citizenship, but I think there's no competition here with Tony's as far as the volume, consistent, right? So you're getting every call every time.
Yes, sir.
So, that's what kind of, to be honest, what if I was a citizen, I would ask that question. Well, if you're getting all the volume, now you want to go up on your costs. So, such a high jump, that would be a concern of mine.
Are there any other towing companies in Fairhope?
None in Fairhope.
There are none. You are the only Fairhope company.
It's basically a pretty high cost place to be. That's why we're the only ones, which is another reason for the rates to be higher.
That's a valid argument. Okay. Other questions? Anyone down here? Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Council, I'll ask for a motion for final adoption.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for final adoption. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Clerk, will you call the question, please?
Council President?
Aye.
Place 2?
Aye.
Place 3?
Aye.
Place 4?
Aye.
Place 5?
Aye.
Okay. That motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 9 is an ordinance to amend ordinance number 1266 and to repeal and replace ordinance number 1608 in the Fairhope Code of Ordinances, Article 6, garbage and trash collection and disposal. Somebody like to introduce this
I'll
ordinance?
introduce it.
All right, the ordinance has been introduced. Mr. Johnson, I believe, and we talked about this in the last, I don't see Mr. Johnson. Did he slip out? Oh, there he is, hiding back there. I know we talked about this in the last work session for probably a good 45 minutes, and then the prior work session for maybe even a solid hour. So basically, what I can touch on is that we had approximately $900,000 deficit in the sanitation department. We could have phased this in over 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, any amount of time that we wanted. I believe Councilman Conyers suggested to the council to just bring the rates up to make us whole. We would not be exceeding any of our local municipalities' rates, in fact, still remaining less than some while providing more services. The 2 cities that are in our area, Saraland and Gulf Shores, that we're comparable with in the number of services provided per week. Correct me if I'm wrong, we would still be lower than one of them, or lower than both of them? Lower than both of them. I know one of them was 21 and change, and I didn't remember the other.
It was 23 and 21.60.
21 something and 23 something, so we're still a fairly good bit below. There was one change to what we had discussed, and it was on here before it was introduced, and that was the backdoor service would remain at the $23 per month, and the non-residential service would go to $25 per month, as discussed. Did I leave anything out, Mr. Johnson?
No, sir.
All right. All right, we have this introduced, council. Any questions for Mr. Johnson? Any other discussion? We'll let this lay over for final consideration, the next council meeting. I know you're sad you're not going to get to vote on that, Robert. Does that bother you?
Speaker of public participation.
Yeah, if you're come to public participation and speak, okay. Very good, fair enough. Okay, we'll let this lay over for the next meeting. Item number 10 is a resolution that Fairhope rescinds the award of RFP PS 007-20, resolution number 3926-20 upon the request of the ADCNR for the purpose of rescoring the proposals due to a discrepancy in the rating criteria and to utilize the revised rating criteria as outlined in the RFP and approved by the ADCNR. As Ms. Walker explained to us, this was related to the GIS portion of the comp plan, which was separated from the bulk of the comp plan. So this would be rescinded. They will rescore the proposals for the GIS services and then come back with a recommendation for approval. So this action would just be rescinding the award. So can I entertain a motion to rescind the award?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 11 is a resolution. The City Council approves the selection of Hope Hicks with Ball, Matthews, and Novak for HR-related consulting services, and hereby authorizes Mayor Sherry Sullivan to execute the associated contract and engagement letter for an additional $5,000, bringing the total not to exceed amount to $10,000. As the mayor and Alicia pointed out, how valuable they have been, or she has been, recently in handling HR-related issues, and value her legal opinion. And so I will now entertain a motion to allow the city to approve the selection.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 12 is a resolution. The City of Fairhope authorizes the submission of an application to ADECA requesting an FY 2021 Recreational Trails Program grant, and authorizes Mayor Sherry Sullivan to sign the required grant application on behalf of the city to construct a multi-use recreational trail with trailhead facilities for mountain biking and pedestrian use located at the northern portion of the Triangle property just north of Veterans Drive. Total projected cost estimate is $500,000, with the city providing an estimated $150,000 of that. That would be about 27% if funded. Mayor Sullivan covered this in detail in the work session. Do you have any further questions for the mayor? And I will say that when we apply for these grants, if we're awarded, something was to go wrong, we didn't have the money, we can always retract it. It's frowned upon. We shouldn't ever do that, but this is not the final say on the spending of the money. So this is just applying for the grant, if we're lucky enough to get it. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to authorize the submission of the application.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Council, items 13 through 24 are community development funding opportunities. These have all been approved in our budget, and these always come back before us for a final adoption. We sign contracts with these various organizations and agencies. There has to be a benefit to the city, and all that's spelled out. You'll see all the details in your binder or on your MacBook. None of these are new either. All of these have been funded for many, many years. I know as long as I have been on the council. There's one exception, and that was that last year we did not receive a request from Care House so it wasn't funded. That was only because they didn't ask, but now they're asking again at the same level. All of these funding levels are the same that they have been for many, many years. In fact, some of them are being funded at a lower level, so I don't see any increases on any of these either. So we're going to go through these probably rather quickly. If you will stop me if you have any questions, and we will get your questions to the appropriate person within the city.
Is it an option to suspend with the reading of these items?
I don't think it'll take us but 30 seconds each to go through them. I think I'd rather get it on the record for the sake of the people that aren't here, if you don't mind.
I don't
We
mind.
possibly could do that. We could have actually made a resolution and bulletized each of these, but they're each a separate contract, so clerk feels it best to go ahead and do them individually. Item 13 is a resolution authorizing Mayor Sullivan to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and Baldwin County Economic Development Alliance for an appropriation of $15,000 to support economic development facilitation within the City of Fairhope.
Make a motion, we approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 14 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and Care House Incorporated for an appropriation of $5,000 to help with continuing support for children who are victims of sexual and severe physical abuse, and to help with the distribution of the child abuse prevention curriculum. Let me just say for the record that this was given actually through some of the funds that were given to the schools. They were receiving education through our schools. This is something that the former police chief and the current police chief support. So I'll ask for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second authorizing the mayor to execute the contract. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 15 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and the Downtown Fairhope Business Association for an appropriation of $20,000 to advertise and promote the City of Fairhope. Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to execute the contract. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, the motion carries. Item 16 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with the Eastern Shore Arts Center for the use of city facilities and for an appropriation of $20,000 for funds to the support and to sponsor the educational programs through the Arts Center's Academy of Fine Arts. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to execute the contract. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 17 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and the Eastern Shore Chamber of Commerce for an appropriation of $21,000, which includes $15,000 for the annual Leaders Council program to advertise and to promote the City of Fairhope. Entertain a motion to authorize the execution of the contract.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 18 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and the Baldwin Pops for an appropriation of $2,000. Also, in-kind services in the amount of $8,400. The resources including personnel but not security after normal business hours, and provide an exception to the sign ordinance by allowing banners for other citywide events to be displayed 10 days prior to these events, and to advertise and promote the City of Fairhope, and to provide free concerts yearly for the residents of Fairhope. Entertain a motion to approve these.
Second.
We have a motion and a second?
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 19 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and Ecumenical Ministries Incorporated for an appropriation of $10,000 to support the needs of Fairhope residents. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to execute the contract. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say nay. Okay, and council, if you want any more details on any of these resolutions, I know we're just hitting the high points, just tell me to slow down and we'll do that. Item 20 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and the Fairhope Film Festival for an appropriation of $6,000 to help bring sustained economic growth from the film industry to the Alabama Gulf Coast through its Fairhope Film Festival. I'll entertain a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, the motion carries. Item 21 is a resolution authorizing Mayor Sullivan to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and the Mobile Bay National Estuary Program for an appropriation of $15,000 to support activities related to stormwater education and watershed management. Entertain a motion to authorize the mayor to
So
execute
moved.
the contract.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 22 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and the Fairhope Pirate Booster Club Incorporated for an appropriation of $10,000 to assist in the purchase of 3 Clorox Total 360 disinfectant sprayers to be placed in the girls' field house, the men's field house, and the locker rooms to disinfect the site and equipment, and to approve the use of the Fairhope Civic Center for the annual drawdown and silent auction, date to be announced, which includes the use of associated rooms as needed, placement of a tent in the parking lot, which all rentals of which will be paid for by the Booster Club, and the use of the facilities, tables, and chairs in the tent. Clerk, would that $10,000 be, a lot of that's in-kind services then?
No, it's actually a payment.
That's a payment? It's $10,000 for disinfectant sprayers? Did we get reimbursed by the CARES Act for that? I'm not sorry, not the CARES Act, but the governor's funds, we can't go after that?
COVID relief.
Yeah, okay. Wow, $3,000 disinfectants, huh?
Let you know, they're big tank-mounted units, and they're using them in the schools and in the locker rooms. I think they hold like 30 or 40 gallons of disinfectant for COVID, and this is for everything else. And just so you know, the Booster Club has already purchased these and used our funds to do it. This would be, we did this so that they could go on ahead and have them at the beginning of the year. And they're being used throughout the school. And one other thing, this was the request of the athletic department of us. This was what they asked for, because they said they needed it for the safety and the health of the students.
All right. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 23 is a resolution authorizing Mayor Sherry Sullivan to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and the Fairhope Point Clear Rotary Youth Club for an appropriation of $57,000 to help manage and operate the Fairhope Point Clear Rotary Youth Club facility, which includes cleaning supplies. This one I am familiar with. I'll entertain a motion for this appropriation.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 24 is a resolution authorizing Mayor Sherry Sullivan to execute a contract between the City of Fairhope and the Fairhope Educational Enrichment Foundation for an appropriation of $50,000 to help with the FEEF STEAM Center to be located at the K1 Center. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'll just say, because this is a lot of money that I'm looking forward, you know, when FEEF was founded, the City of Fairhope was the first to come to the table, and I believe it was a $50,000 donation at that time to build the Pelican's Nest, and that was 25 years ago, almost to the date, that was undertaken. And so 25 years ago, Fairhope wasn't probably nearly as wealthy as it is now, so to do $50,000 in today's dollars, probably not nearly what we did last time. But this is the next big step that FEEF has taken to enrich the education of our children. So I think it's a wonderful thing. if you vote in favor of this. I think that's going to be an awesome facility, and I wish them the best. Where am I at, clerk? Do I have a motion and a second?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. 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 Opposed? Please say nay. All right. Motion passes. Council items, let's see, well, let me go through this a little bit more. We are beyond those appropriations, although I did see a couple of more appropriations at items 39 and 40, but we're not to the budgeted items yet, other than these community development budget items. Item 25 is a resolution to reject all bids for the municipal pier utility tray repairs and rebid for the Public Works Department pursuant to the Code of Alabama and reevaluate the project scope. Mr. Johnson briefed us on this during the work session, so I'll entertain a motion to reject all the.
So moved.
Only one bid.
Second.
So- Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Richard, why do you think there was just one bid with 27 on the bid list?
I think that because the way they would have to fix it, they'd have to work from the water side, and I think that scared a lot of people off. So that's why we kind of went and revisited where they could work from the deck surface itself and accomplish the same goal. So that is pure speculation, but, you know, we didn't have a barge, just one wind barge, that was one of those.
I have a question. We have a building department, we have a building maintenance group. We have a sewer department that runs sewer lines. We have a water department that runs water lines, repairs sewer lines. We have an electric department that I know will run service to distribution points. Why are we contracting this as opposed to taking this on ourselves?
You know, when after Hurricane Zeta, we were.
And you're Public Works, and you have to field this question, I'm sorry, so.
Well, but we've all worked together.
Feel free for the utilities to jump in.
It is when we first perceived to put it back together like it was, none of us had really the capabilities as far as equipment to work from the water side. You know, that was the reality of it, and you know, when it was replaced back circa 2006, it was a contracted, you know, service, and again, we added elements where we would make it hot, we would tie in at both ends, but getting that tray back in place so that we could reestablish utilities, we just felt the quickest, especially at that time. You know, we're looking in October, November. We were all still dealing with all the results of Hurricane Sally and everything else. I mean, again, and being such a prominent area that people visit, that it's not open now after dark because you don't have lights, and for those that need a restroom break at the halfway point, that's not an option. We just felt like we wanted to expedite getting those basic services back out there for our public.
Forgive me for saying so, it doesn't seem too expedited to me. And it's been down for a long, long time, and now you're saying that we're not going to do it from the water side. We're going to do it by another means. So why weren't we considering doing it ourselves when we're going from, if we're removing that restriction of doing it from the water side, why aren't we taking care of it ourselves? I'm going to be looking at these bids very close.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll take some responsibility for that, because that's the first I've heard that we're not going to work from the water side, because we are requiring maritime insurance requirements on the bid. So if that's the case, then I thought we were doing it from the water.
Is that what's on the bid when you, yeah?
Well, just so you know, and Marcus helped give us guidance there, we tell a contractor that they have to review with their insurance provider what insurance they need to do. The problem with longshoreman insurance, it says if you're working on a pier, you have to have it in the simplest forms. So we don't have, that's not an insurance requirement of the city, but a contractor who's bidding on a project must make sure they have the required insurance to meet state, federal regulations, and the Longshore Insurance Act is a federal regulation. Did I say it correctly, Marcus? So whether you're working from the deck or working from the water, depending on the interpretation, that insurance may be required, but that contractor has to vet that with their insurance carrier.
Mayor, I'll just ask you also, I know you will keep an eye on, I know it's a priority for you as well, but I'm not saying we could do it. I definitely think it's a possibility that we could do it. I mean, it's not that technical once you get past the support system. Correct me if I'm wrong, Richard, the support system's the engineering challenge pretty much, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that, though. All right, council, we need a motion and a second to reject the bids.
You have a motion and second.
We have a motion and a second, all right. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of rejecting the bids, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, thank you, council. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Item 26, a resolution, the mayor, Sherry Sullivan, is hereby authorized to execute a contract for extension number 1 of bid number 16-20 for sludge removal services 20, should probably be, would that be 2021, clerk?
Not for the extension, it was the 2020.
Oh, that was the original contract, so it's an extension, correct? Okay. All right. For the sewer department with Green South Solutions for an additional 1 year per the terms and conditions of the original contract. The total bid proposal is $85 per cubic yard. The estimated annual cost would be $550,000, but the bid is $85 per cubic yard. So I'll entertain a motion to allow the mayor to execute the contract.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, item 27 is a resolution. The city of Fairhope approves the procurement for the Fly Creek tree removal caused by Hurricane Sally. That's FEMA, I guess that's FEMA claim 4563. The RFQ was sent to 40 contractors as well as multiple state agencies for MBE and DEB consideration. The city received 5 responsive and responsible quotes and awards the project to Tonsmeyer Construction Incorporated in the amount of $24,602.50. And I believe the mayor covered this along with Mr. Johnson in the work session. Seemed like a really good price, to be honest, and we may be reimbursed all this as well. We're hoping that we're going to get reimbursed. So I'll entertain a motion for the services.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 28 is a resolution. The City of Fairhope approves the procurement for the wooden pier repairs damaged by Hurricane Zeta. And this was sent to 25 contractors as well as multiple state agencies for MBE and DEB consideration. The city received 2 responsive and responsible submissions and awards the project to Asphalt Services in the amount of $60,119. An insurance claim has been filed, and once the claim is done, FEMA claim will also be submitted. So this would be the 2 piers, North Beach Park, and also some repairs to the Pecan Avenue Pier. Mr. Johnson is here also to answer questions. Should you have any on this? And we talked about this in the work session as well. I'll entertain a motion to approve the repairs.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. So here we are. Items 29 through 38, council, are all budgeted items. I would like to know whether they are above or below, or, and we have green sheets, I'm sure, on all of these, right, clerk?
Yes.
Okay, so once again, you've already seen these proposals in the budget, which was approved, and so we'll probably go through these pretty hurriedly. Item 29 is a resolution. The City of Fairhope vote to purchase a 2021 Dodge Ram 2500 three-quarter ton crew cab 4x4 pickup truck for the gas department. This type of vehicle needed is on the Alabama State Department of Purchasing bid list, therefore it does not have to be let out for bid. The total cost will be $28,208.30. I'll entertain a motion for the purchase of the truck.
So moved.
Second.
Almost 12 under budget.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah, you have taught them well, Richard. All right, we have a motion and a second for the purchase. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 30 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to purchase a 2021 Dodge Ram 5500 diesel crew cab and chassis with dual rear wheels for the gas department. This type of vehicle needed is on the Alabama State Department of Purchasing bid list, and therefore does not have to be let out for bid. Total cost will be $50,172. Can I get a motion for the purchase?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the purchase. Any further discussion?
23 under bid.
2,300?
Under budget.
23.8.
23,000.
23,000. Wow, and that's a 5,500 as well, huh? This is where my binder gets all messed up here. All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the purchase, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Only about 20 more items to go. Item 31 is a resolution, City of Fairhope vote to purchase a 2021 utility body for a Dodge Ram 5500 diesel crew cab for the gas department. The type of vehicle needed is on the Alabama Department of Purchasing bid list, therefore it does not have to be let out for bid, with a total cost of $22,371. I have a question. Does this body go with the prior vehicle?
Yeah, so it's really only 1,500 under budget.
1,000 under budget because the body,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah, 1,500 total.
1,000 under budget.
I got you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to purchase the body for it.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion. Did I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all is in favor of purchasing the body for the truck?
Aye.
Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 32 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure a 2021 Caterpillar 303.5 E2CR canopy mini excavator with power angle for water and sewer departments. Let me hear you say that, Corey, 5 times real quick. The item is available for direct procurement through the Sourcewell contract, and therefore it does not have to be let out for a bid. This has already been nationally bid through the Omnia Partners bid process with a total cost of $44,980. Where are we at on that one, Jimmy?
$20 on the budget. So moved.
All right.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the purchase, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right. Item 33 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure a 2021 Caterpillar 303.5 E2CR canopy mini excavator with power angle through Sourcewell contract and Econoline LP 07211TE trailer through Omnia Partners contract for the gas department. The items are available for direct procurement through these contracts. The items have been nationally bid through their bid process, and therefore they do not have to be let out for bid, with a total cost of $49,996. Entertain a motion for the purchase.
So moved.
Second.
$4.
We have a motion and a second. All right. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the purchase, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 34 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to procure a 2021 Peterson Lightning Loader trash truck with dump body for the sanitation department within Public Works. The item is available for direct procurement through the Sourcewell contract, which has been nationally bid through their bid processes, and therefore does not have to be let out for bid. The total cost will be $157,134.38. Once again, I'll just state for the record that these are all in the budget and approved through the budget, and he's just coming back before us for final instruction. So I'll entertain a motion for the purchase.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of purchasing the new garbage truck, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 35 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope approves the procurement of the Fairhope Fire Hall roof damage by Hurricane Sally. This request for quotes was sent to 8 contractors as well as multiple state agencies for MBE and DEB consideration. The initial request received no quotes. The city solicited quotes a second time and received one quote, and awards the project to Roof Doctors of Alabama in the amount of $10,500. Insurance claim has been filed, and once the claim is done, the FEMA claim can also be submitted. So I'll entertain a motion for the roof repairs.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 36, a resolution, the City of Fairhope hereby terminates the purchase order or the contract between the City of Fairhope and CDW Government LLC for the procurement of an IT consultant for a 3-year services contract due to a no compromise being able to be reached by the attorneys for CDW and the City of Fairhope, as also Marcus mentioned in the work session. So I'll entertain a motion
So
to
moved.
terminate the purchase
Second.
order. Okay. A motion and a second to terminate the purchase order. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 37 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to purchase a 2013 Dodge Ram flat crew cab dump truck for the water department. Type of vehicle needed is on the Alabama Department of Transportation surplus equipment list at a total cost not to exceed $22,957. I'll entertain a motion to purchase the crew cab dump truck.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Jimmy, where are we at on the budget there? 17? $17?
Saved.
Save $17?
17,000.
17,000. Good job, Jason. Do you have anything to do with that? All right, very good. All right, we have a motion and a second, clerk?
Yes, you do.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Page 5, item 38 is a resolution, the City of Fairhope vote to purchase the 2014 Ford Crane truck for the Public Works Department to be used for painting of signs. The type of vehicle needed is on the Alabama Department of Transportation surplus equipment list for a total not to exceed $30,000. I'll entertain a motion to purchase the crane truck.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the purchase, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, thank you. All right, back to the 39 and 40, we'll be back to the community development request. Item 39 is a request from the Eastern Shore Optimist Club regarding an in-kind donation to use the Fairhope Civic Center for the Dogwood Trail Pageant in 2021 and the Dale Champs Suite for the Arts and Crafts Reception in 2021. I'll entertain a motion to grant this request.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. All right, the motion carries. Item number 40 is a request for golf green fees and cart fees for the Fairhope Educational Enrichment Foundation Golf Tournament. These are in-kind donations. I will remind everybody for the mayor's annual golf tournament to be held at Quail Creek Golf Course. I'll entertain a motion to grant this request.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of granting the request, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 42 is a request from Gene Broadus of the Eastern Shore Optimist Club requesting permission to hold the Easter sunrise service at 6:30 a.m. at the Fairhope Municipal Fountain.
You missed 41.
I missed one?
41.
All right, well, let's finish 42. We'll go back to that. I checked 41 too quick. Thank you. That was kind of an important one too, wasn't it? All right, let's go through 42. Request of Gene Broadus, Eastern Shore Optimist Club, requesting permission to hold the Easter sunrise service at 6:30 a.m. at the Fairhope Municipal Fountain and help with traffic securing the location for pedestrians.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to grant the request.
Yeah.
Do I hear some discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of granting the request, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, back to something very important, number 41. I don't know, I go down and I check them off, and I just checked that one too quick. Item 41 is a very, very important request from the Fairhope Arts and Crafts Committee requesting permission to reschedule the Fairhope Arts and Crafts Festival for April 30, 2021, May 1st, and May 2nd, 2021, and all requests, including the use of the streets pursuant to the memorandum of understanding between the City of Fairhope and the Fairhope Arts and Crafts Festival Foundation. I'll entertain a motion to grant this request.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Discussion. I just want to say that, we did reserve the right to counsel this if we feel the need to do so. I think that we should all be in favor of at least letting them plan for this event. And I'm very, very optimistic, and just in the last 2 weeks of what I've seen, COVID numbers going down due to a couple of things. A lot of people have had it, and a lot of people are getting vaccinated, and I hope the trends, not going to guarantee that the trends continue, but if you look at the curve, it's like this, and it's kind of hard to turn that, so let's hope that that curve continues, and I will hope that people continue to get vaccinated and socially distance as well. So hopefully we can have an Arts and Crafts Festival this year. I know that we really need it. The city needs it. The artists need it. We all need it for our mental health. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of granting the request, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 43 is a request from Aaron Langley of the Eastern Shore Repertory Theater Incorporated requesting permission to use Henry George Park from April 29th, 2021 through May 9th, 2021 for the performance of the classic The Wizard of Oz, with performances being held May 6th through May 8th, 2021, and a rain date or possible encore performance on May 9th. This was paid in 2020 but had to cancel due to COVID. They'll carry the payment forward for the 2021 program. This also allows the usage of barricades and to have city employees assist in the setup and removal of such barricades. Pursuant to an ordinance number 1486, ESRT will be responsible for all security costs. I'll entertain a motion to grant the request.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Just thank you to Aaron for patiently waiting out here in the audience.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you. Wow, you picked up 43 the agenda. Thank you. Item 44 is an application for a special retail liquor license of more than 30 days by Kirk Dye for Southern Chill, doing business as Southern Chill, located at 85 North Bancroft Street in Fairhope, Alabama. Chief Hollinghead, do you see any reason to deny this application?
No, sir, everything's fine.
Okay. Council, I'll entertain a motion to approve the liquor license.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the application approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right. Motion carries. Item 45 is an application for a restaurant liquor license by David Jewett for, somebody pronounce that.
Malinois Playtime?
Malinois Playtime, doing business as Cafe 98, located at 901 Fairhope Avenue. Chief, do you know of any reason to deny this application?
No, sir, this one's good as well.
Okay. All right, council, I'll entertain a motion to approve this application.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Well, I would like to say, everybody's asking what's happening with Ruby Tuesdays. That's the Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we'll
That
put-
is the Ruby Tuesday.
That is the
right?
Ruby Tuesday.
I've heard that rumor.
Same
Okay.
owner as Jillwin's.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the application. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay. Next item is appointment to the Fairhope Environmental Advisory Board. This would be an appointment to a 4-year term. The nominations are Jennifer Fouch, and reappointments would be Gary Gover, Mike Shelton, and Janine Norman for terms ending February of 2025. I'll entertain a motion to approve these appointments and reappointments.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I just wanted to say that Jennifer's going to be a great addition to our environmental board.
Yeah, she works for the Baldwin Home Builders, the Realtors or the Home Builders?
Realtors.
Realtors Association, Governmental Affairs Director, I believe? Okay. All right, very good. Item number 47.
You have a motion and a second?
Pardon?
Need a vote?
Oh, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. I need a Sue
Keep them
cred.
straight, Lisa.
Almost there. All right. Item 47 are appointments to the Board of Appeals and adjustments. The reappointments for a 3-year term ending February 2024 for the first and second alternate members, David Martin as first alternate member and Donna Cook for second alternate member. I'll entertain a motion to approve these appointments
So
as
moved.
alternate members.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the appointments, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you. Item 48, public participation. If you have anything else to bring forth before the council, please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. You will be given 3 minutes. Mr. McDowell, are we going to have any motions to consider once we come out of executive session? No, sir. Okay, just to let people know, when we come out of executive session, we'll probably simply just adjourn. Is there anyone? Okay, I'll close public participation on non-agenda items. I'll read a letter. We are asked to go into executive session to discuss pending and potential litigation and to discuss security plans, procedures, assessments, measures, or systems, or the security of safety of persons, structures, facilities, or other infrastructures, the public disclosure of which could reasonably be expected to be detrimental to public safety or welfare. I'll now read the letter from the City Attorney Marcus McDowell, which states, as City Attorney Marcus E. McDowell, I hereby request the Fairhope City Council go into executive session based on Section 36-25A-7A3 to discuss pending and potential litigation, and Section 36-25A-7A4 to discuss security plans, procedures, assessments, measures, or systems, or the security or safety of persons, structures, facilities, or other infrastructures, the public disclosure of which could reasonably be expected to be detrimental to public safety or welfare. As City Attorney, that would be Marcus, I hereby request the City Council of the City of Fairhope rise from regular City Council meeting on Monday, February 22nd, 2021, to go into executive session. The City Council shall be in executive session for approximately 15 minutes. At the end of the executive session, the City Council shall return to the City Council chambers to resume the regular City Council meeting. The time right now is about 7:46. We'll exit now. Entertain a motion to go into executive session. We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, hold on one thing. I do want to announce that when we come back to the meeting, I will have to do one order of business, and it's just a formality, and that will be to make a public announcement of the vacancy in the office of a council member. So we will do that when we return from executive session. The reason we do that at the very end of tonight's meeting is so that Councilman Brown can participate in all of the council meeting, and that will be his last act of a councilman. We'll make that announcement when we come back. So, thank you.
All in favor?
Trader. All right, I'll call the meeting back to order. Last order of business, and regretfully so, will be to declare that the position of Place 4, City Council, City of Fairhope, is now vacated. Just a couple of rules. Says the position should be filled as soon as possible to prevent the crippling effect of not having a quorum to do business. We may not avoid its responsibility for electing a person to fill such a vacancy by calling a special election. So it is up to this body to fill the position. A majority of the vote of the present council is required to fill the vacancy. And when the present council consists of a mayor and 4 council members, well, that's not applicable here. In the event a vacancy in the office of a council member is not filled within 60 days after it occurs in a Class 7 or 8 municipality, we are a Class 8. Each existing council member, including the mayor, may submit a name to the governor for appointment. So let's not take more than 60 days. Let's do our job. They do say vacancies in the office of the council member shall be filled by the council at the next regular meeting or any subsequent meeting of the council, the person so elected to hold office for the unexpired term. And then, I'm, of course, have to declare the council seat vacant, which I just did. That is an acknowledgement, and it says that we may have done that at any regular or special call meeting. Didn't see any need to call a special meeting, just to declare the seat vacant. Unless Councilman Brown had chosen to serve until the next meeting, and we could have declared the office or the seat vacant at any time up to that time, but he has agreed to go ahead and allow for the vacating of that office now. So, Councilman Brown, thank you, sir.
Thank you,
It's been a real honor and a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You want to make the motion for adjournment? Oh, you're already done, just vacant.
Okay.
I don't think you can. Somebody else want to make them?
So moved.
Second.
Motion for adjournment,
Yeah.
second.
It was only
We got a
completion of the meeting.
We got a second?
Yes, second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. But we had to do the vacancy.